Hey everyone, welcome back to GraceNote Forge. So this is going to be part 2 of this tutorial video. Last time we set up this template file here with this Signet Ring blank, and if you didn't catch that one, I would go back and watch it just to see where we are. But I'm going to go ahead and continue with this design to make something a little bit more unique. So with Valentine's Day coming up, I thought it would be neat to show off this method by designing a heart signet ring. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. So starting off with the ring selected, I'm gonna go back to our subdivision surface modifier and bump that back down to 3 just to make that run a little bit smoother. And then I'm going to hop back into edit mode. And with the symmetry buttons on the X and Y still active, I'm going to go to top down view. And I'm just going to start shifting this around to shape it into a heart. So I'm going to pull this down here, bring this over, and I actually want the band to be a lot thinner, so I'm going to hit 2 to do our edge select and alt select this ring, and hold shift and alt select this one as well. Then I can just scale that on the Y and bring that in a bit. Now I can go ahead back into vertice select and just start making some fine adjustments. And I want this to kind of taper and swoop in a little bit. And that looks pretty good. I also want to do the same for the top, so I'm going to bring these vertices inward a bit. Actually might take them down. And then adjust these top ones. And there's a lot of playing by eye, but it's pretty easy to kind of get a feel for. So that's not too bad to start. I'm going to go to face select and just grab these 4 faces and right click, and with the loop tools I'm going to hit flatten. Then I'm going to go top down again and going back into vertice select. I'm just going to make a few more adjustments. So making sure to only grab 1 point at a time. Just going to get this a little closer. And that should be okay for now. Now I'm going to go to edge select and just grab these top edges here and do Shift B to make a bevel. And that just gives us a little bit more room to play with. Now I'm going to deselect the Y symmetry, just because we're only going to need this mirrored on the X. So I'm going to uncheck that, and now I can change up the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to pull this down. And you can see it got a little skewed here on one side from the other, so it's not mirroring, but that's no big deal. We just hit A to select all of it. Go over to Mesh, Symmetrize, and I'm copying the negative X over to the positive X, and that should be fine. So I'm just going to start shaping this to look a little bit more like a heart. So I can even grab this point down here if I want the bottom to kind of extend more. So I'm going to grab that point and hit Y. And just start moving these around. So that looks pretty good. You can see we want it to be a little bit more sharp though, kind of on the front here, on the point of the heart, and in between over here. So I'm going to go into Edge Select, and if it's hard to see where an edge is, you can either do Alt X to get into X-ray mode, or you can select this box up here, or you can also turn on the On Cage option over in the subdivision modifier, and that'll make it to where the edges kind of ride along the contours of the model. So I'm just going to select this edge and this one, and I'm actually going to hold Shift and select these ones as well. And then I'm going to just do a crease. So I'm going to hit Shift E and just drag that. So I'm just going to grab these points and just pull them down on the Y. And that looks pretty good. Also straighten this out just a little bit more. And then just make a few more little tweaks. And if it's hard to see the edge like it is over here, you can change the matte cap to something that has a little bit more specularity. That actually works fine for now, but I recommend going through and kind of seeing, what works nice for you. So I'm just going to make a few more adjustments. But you can see I already have something that looks really nice. So I actually really like that. I think I'm going to stick with this one. So I'm just going to go back into object mode. And one more thing that I want to show is how to do that kind of undercut underneath the ring to kind of take away some of that material. It wouldn't totally be needed in one like this because it's not, super thick. But just to show you guys, this is what I would do. So make a duplicate of this ring. So I'm going to hit Shift D and just move that out of the way for a second and right click. That way it goes right back in place. And you can see I have the copy right here. I'm going to go ahead and hide our original ring. And with this copy, I'm going to bump up the resolution on the subdivision modifier to 5. And just go ahead and apply all these modifiers from the top down. So I'm going to go through one by one and apply those. Now I can turn our original ring back on, and with our copy ring, I'm going to go to front facing view and just scale that down. And get it to something like that. You can go through and measure this thickness just to double check, but that should be pretty good. I might take it down a little bit further. And we only want this cutting up here on the top and kind of where it starts to get a little bit more thick. So I'm going to select this and go over into sculpt mode. Then in front facing view, I'm going to go ahead and grab the grab brush, and with the X symmetry still turned on, I'm going to bump up the size of our brush and just start pulling this inward. So I only want it to make contact right around here. And that should be good. So I go back over into our main page here. And now I can do the same thing, the same Boolean operation as before. So I'm going to select the inside ring, shift select our main ring, and do another Boolean by hitting Control- on the numpad. And you can see we have this nice cavity here. We can still go through and adjust the size of this. So I'm going to grab that inside ring that's being used as a Boolean and scale that down on the Y by hitting S and then Y. And then I might actually want to bring that in on the Y as well. So I'm just looking for these edges to be a little bit more even. And I can go through and actually use like the measure tool and, see what thickness this is at if I'm really curious. And I wouldn't go for a thickness that's really smaller than, 0.2, 0.1 is really kind of pushing the limits in my opinion, but that should work just fine. So the last thing that I would want to do is, just like the other, I would bump up the resolution of this to 5. Then I can just go ahead and apply these modifiers. And once that's all set, this ring should be good to go. I can actually delete all these Boolean cubes here. And it is going to have a little bit of a strange looking mesh if we look at it here. But this is more than usable for 3D printing. If I wanted to go through and kind of soften up these edges, what I would do is do a remesh modifier and take that down to something that's pretty high resolution. So I would do like 0.3. And it helps to kind of keep an eye on the statistics to see, you know, how many vertices you're working with. I know I can handle up to 4 million vertices on my system pretty easily, but I recommend checking that out. And that looks pretty good, so I would go ahead and apply that. And just to soften up these edges, I'd go back into sculpt mode. And I could use the mesh filter brush and set that to smooth. And now I can just click and drag. And you can see it gives us a more rounded corner on basically all of these. So that looks pretty nice. One more thing that I would do before sending this out for 3D printing or anything, it's generally a better practice to have a lower poly mesh if you can. So I would decimate this really quick, and I'm willing to bet we could get away with taking this down about 3/4. So if I do 0.25 for the ratio and give that a second, you can see that bump that resolution down to 300,000, which is a lot more manageable for 3D slicing softwares. And you can see it only adds the geometry like on the curves where we would really need it. So you could go ahead and apply this modifier, and this ring should be good to go for 3D printing. So let me know what you guys think of this workflow. I know it's different than other methods that I've showed before, but like I said before, this really might be all you need depending on what you're going for. So let me know if you gave it a try, and if you came up with anything interesting using this method. I'd love to hear about it. But that's it for this tutorial. I really hope it helps you guys out. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.